Coming up on Mountain News this morning, people here in Hazard left without a home after an apartment fire struggle to find a new place to live. And there's a bit of good news for Kentucky's continued battle against the drug epidemic.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. The time is 4:59 on this Friday. I'm Keaton Hall. And Brandon, how you feeling on Friday?
Listen, it's been one of those days that I think the later into the week I got, the less sleep I got. So I'm kind of coasting on fumes today. So
I can relate. But
we'll get there. It's not too bad out there this morning. There's some fog out there. There's some fog in here. And let's show you the fog that's out there this morning. It's not looking too bad, but I can tell you, I drive from western Letcher County every day to Hazard, and basically 9/10 of the way, dense fog. So be extra careful out there this morning. Take care. Make sure that you're paying good attention. Slow down, take it easy, and get where you're going safely. We've got fog outside of Hazard. We've got fog trying to build in over at Pikeville, Moorhead, Jenkins. So again, just take it extra easy this morning, because the deeper in the morning we get, the more likely we're going to see some fog. Now, temperature is still mild like it was yesterday. 57 Wise, Jonesville, 55 Clintwood, 59 Manchester, Williamsburg, Middlesboro, Irvin 2, and Grundy's at 56. Everybody else is in the 60s this morning. Out the door forecast is going to feature mainly dry conditions today. Can't rule out a stray chance for a passing shower, but I do believe we'll get into the low to mid 80s for daytime highs. Keaton?
All right, thank you, Brandon. Several people who lived in the apartment building that caught on fire in downtown Hazard last week and the nearby Treehouse building are still without a home. They've been staying in a hotel with friends and family and anywhere else they can find. Former tenants Allie Barger and Samantha Coward say finding housing has been a struggle.
Red Cross and KRCC, really, they're the ones that are trying to help me find somewhere to live and get clothes and everything else.
The housing in Hazard right now is so few and far between, and I have to stay here. So right now I'm just staying wherever I can.
The tenants have been approved to stay at a local hotel in Hazard until at least through Monday. A former mayor of Williamsburg has died. Paul Estes served the city of Williamsburg for more than 21 years as mayor and a city councilman. His visitation is today at First Baptist Church Williamsburg from 3 to 5 p.m. A funeral will follow at the church. In lieu of flowers, the family has asked for donations to be made to the First Baptist Church Williamsburg or the University of the Cumberlands. Estes was 91 years old. The Kentucky Supreme Court ruled against the University of Kentucky in a dispute involving students and administrative fees during the pandemic. Students wanted to sue the university, say they should not have paid fees in full during the pandemic when classes were virtual. The university claims government immunity from that lawsuit. Yesterday, the Supreme Court ruled the university and students had a written binding contract, and students have a legitimate expectation to receive what they paid for. Now the claim of breach of contract can continue. Another ruling by the Kentucky Supreme Court will lift a temporary suspension against former Commonwealths Attorney Ronnie Goldie. The General Assembly impeached Goldie in March. Goldie resigned in February after accusations that he did favors for a woman facing prosecution in exchange for nude photos. The state Supreme Court's ruling will allow him to once again practice law in the state. A report published by Governor Andy Beshear's office says drug overdose deaths in Kentucky have declined for the first time since 2018. The 2022 overdose fatality report says more than 2,100 people in Kentucky died from drug overdoses last year, a decline of more than 5% from 2021. 90% of those deaths involved opioids, with fentanyl accounting for most of those. Meth was also one of the more prevalent drugs leading to overdose deaths. The Associated Press reports Kentucky is one of just 8 states to see a decrease in overdose deaths. Stacker.com says one eastern Kentucky county continues to have the highest unemployment rate in Kentucky. Magoffin County's unemployment rate was more than 9% back in March. Some other counties in the coverage area in the top 10 were Breathitt, Martin, Johnson, and Leslie. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says statewide unemployment is 3.7%. That's dating back to April. The Kentucky Horse Racing Commission is creating a new position aimed at keeping horses safe. The new safety steward will oversee safety procedures, including monitoring therapies and medications, evaluating horses' health, conducting safety inspections, and more. It comes after a dozen horses died at Churchill Downs. The track is now shut down, and the remainder of the spring meet races have been moved to Ellis Park. The Southern Baptist Convention is kicking out a Kentucky church. Louisville's Fern Creek Baptist Church is no longer affiliated with the National Convention. It was voted out on Wednesday for having a woman pastor. Linda Barnes Popham, she's held the position for 30 years. Her congregation is standing behind her.
We believe that God is greater than the Southern Baptist Convention. He's a lot bigger than that, and he has wonderful opportunities awaiting us. We're bound for greater things.
The church got a letter from the Kentucky Baptist Convention saying it would also be kicked out of that group. Southern Baptist leaders say having a woman pastor violates guidance set in the year 2000. Well, thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up next, severe storms turn deadly in a Texas community after a tornado creates a path of destruction.
And here at home, we're coasting toward the last weekend of spring on a warmer note, but how high will that thermometer go? I'll have the forecast in about 3 minutes.